Living with Lolita, grab a notebook and a pen. It's not about where you start, but how you win. There is no topic that can't be discussed. This platform is open, no need to hush.
Y'all, it's your girl Lolita, and welcome to my very first episode of Living with Lolita. Now, let me ask you a couple of questions. Have you ever thought to yourself, can I really do this? Do I have what it takes? Will I fail? Is this even a good idea? Well, today we're going to touch on this exact thought, faith moves. It's a faith move that has me talking to you all today. Never would I have thought to do a podcast solo, but God obviously had other plans. I would say that this podcast came about maybe 2 or 3 years ago. So when the idea came about, I was like, I know I don't want to do this alone. So let me ask a girlfriend if she would want to do it with me. And she agreed. So we went from there. Fast forward, as time went on, it just seemed like me and her were going in two opposite directions. We were literally growing apart from one another. So with that being said, we ended our friendship. And with that being said, the podcast was then put on the back burner. So I was just thinking, you know what? I'm not going to do this podcast. I'm going to leave it alone until a couple of months ago. Now, mind you, no one knew about the podcast except for maybe my 2 older children and one girlfriend. God came to me and said, you are meant to do this podcast. You're meant to do it alone because people want to hear what you have to say. So, as nervous as I am, as fearful as I am, I just ended up putting on my big girl panties and was like, okay, God, I'm going to do this. And here I am today talking to you all. It was a faith move that landed me in Georgia, paying a higher rent, which I'm paying $500 more than what I was paying in Florida. I'm learning a new city, which I'm still using my GPS to get around, and I'm getting acclimated to new people, which is actually a highlight. Whether it's when I'm at dinner or when I go to church, I'm meeting new people. I'm meeting interesting people. I'm meeting people that are like-minded, business-minded people. So I'm grateful for that. And I'm just opening up to new possibilities at the end of the day. So when I actually moved here, it was July of last year. And when I tell you everything that I thought was going to happen for me did not happen. Like I got here and was thinking one day, girl, what did you do? Like seriously, because things just weren't going right. And so since they weren't going right, I started second guessing myself. And I was like, okay, maybe I didn't hear from God, but I did. And he chose to reward me with my move and with my obedience by giving me a supervisory position in December. So I applied for this position and I was so nervous. And I only applied because my supervisor at the time was like, oh, you should do it. You should do it. You've been with this company for a very long time. You need to move up. And I was an area lead. And I guess I was comfortable. But God wanted me to come out of my comfort zone. He wanted me to break out of my shell. He wanted me to come from behind the curtain. So that's what I did. I went through 5 grueling interviews, which, by the way, I felt like the first 3 I did horribly on. And I was kicking myself every single time because I felt like they would ask me a question and I would fumble over my words like I did not know the job. And I knew the job. Nevertheless, like I said, I'm a supervisor now. So I'm super grateful for that. Now, faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. Hebrews 11:1. Although I took this faith walk, I can't say it's been easy by far. I've struggled emotionally, mentally, physically, financially, even spiritually. And to be honest, I don't even think that I would have left Florida if I knew what was ahead of me. in my head, I thought I would just move and things would just fall into place. I was sadly mistaken. But I also knew that if God were to have told me what I was going to have to endure, the obstacles that I was going to have to face, my move would have been postponed until I felt was the right time. And those were the key words. What I felt, not God, not in his time, but mine. You know, faith will make you think you're going crazy or like you're just not putting things in the proper perspective, especially if you're telling someone else your plans. Now, you know, sometimes you're excited about something and you want to tell like your friends or your family. You want to tell them your plans. You want to tell them your ideas. And some people are for it. They're so gung-ho. They are standing behind you and beside you and they're rooting you on. And then some people are giving you the side eye. Some people are smirking. Some people are even talking behind your back. And really, to tell you the truth, people are probably still talking behind my back, but I could care less. Because at the end of the day, no one knows me better than God. Nobody knows what is best for me more than God. I'm just going to continue to listen to him and allow him to guide me through. Now, when God says weapons may form, but they won't prosper, y'all, the amount of weapons that were forming my way was ridiculous. I don't even know how I'm doing this. I don't know how I am making it other than God. So I just want to rewind really quick to when I mentioned my struggle. One of the struggles that I've had to endure is very near and dear to my heart. So when I moved here last year, I was under the assumption that I would have my 2 younger kids in tow. They did come. They helped me move in. I think I had a court date 2 weeks after that, maybe, and it didn't go well. The father decided that he wanted to fight for them. And everyone around me, including myself, knows that he's not doing this because it's for the best interest of the kids. But nevertheless, the judge ruled that I could not take them out of the state of Florida until we went through a trial. Okay, so since August of last year, I have been traveling back and forth to Florida, whether it's using my own car, which is extra miles on my car, gas, wear and tear, whether it's getting a rental car, which I think I only did once or twice because that was so expensive, and then, or flying. I just want to say that I'm doing what I'm doing because this is God's plan. This is his plan for me to move. No matter if I think it should have been easier for me. I know that on the other side of this, it's going to be fine. It's going to be roses. It's going to be rainbows. There's going to be gold at the end of that rainbow. I just can't wait until that happens. But in the meantime, I'm going back and forth, which is definitely hard on me financially. I'm taking care of this home in Georgia. I'm running back and forth, making sure my kids have what they need. If there's anything for school, if they're in music orchestra, if they're, any field trips that they have, I'm doing it all. Like, I know people say sometimes, girl, you act like you're Superwoman. I feel like Superwoman. I honestly do. I'm giving myself a pat on the back because my kids will never see me. My kids will never see me absent. They will know that I'm a constant. They will know that I'm present for everything. I celebrate everything. I take photos of everything. I'm so hands-on. And although they may be embarrassed, I know that they appreciate it. I know that they like it. Even if I'm the butt of the jokes, it's fine. I'm doing everything that I have to do for them. And it's so painful. It's so painful because I just want to be in one place with them. So in the meantime, I just continue to smile through my pain. When I'm not with them and I come back here alone, I pray a lot. I cry. I probably cry more than I pray. I don't even know how I have any tears left because I cry so much. This has been a very, very painful process. Now, I may post things on Instagram or on Facebook, and people may look at me and say, oh, she looks like she has it all together. She looks happy. She has, cute outfits. And listen, I do, but I don't have it all together. I don't have all the answers, but I'm not going to look like what I'm going through. I am here to just tell people that whether you're going through anything, you don't have to look like what you're going through. You can still push through. God said that this is a faith walk. A faith walk, not a cake walk. So we have to continue to put one foot in front of the other. We have to continue moving forward. We cannot give up. We cannot let the enemy win. During this process, I have tried to pull myself out of depression many times. I was depressed a few years ago, and my friends really helped me. My friends, my sister, they really helped me. But sometimes when I'm here alone and I'm in my thoughts, I feel like I don't want to get out of the bed. I feel like less than a mom. I feel like I'm lost. And sometimes I don't have the capacity to pray. I don't have the capacity to tell God how great He is. Because what I really want to do, and this just being honest, is question Him. Like, why is this happening? I know that on the other side of this, though, I'll have my children very soon. And how do I know that? Because God told me so. I'm going to stand on that. I'm going to hold Him to that. I know that when I get them, we are going to celebrate like never before. We're going to laugh. We're going to be merry. Like we always do when we're together. There's a peace and a calmness that my children have when they're with me. There's stability. It's fun. They know that they are loved. They are cared for. They are nurtured. And I know that this is only a test. It's a trial. And I'm going to pass. So moving on, another one of my struggles that I mentioned was that I lost a friend. This friend did mean a lot, but I look at it as our season just being over. Everyone can't go where you're going, and I'm totally at peace with that. I've lost money on traveling. I've spent a lot of money on traveling. On a lawyer, going to mediations and having court dates and trials. It's a lot. But I know that that will all be regained. God has provided for me when I thought I was down to my last dime. He has always made a way. Even when I don't see a way. But in the meantime, I'm going to keep pushing through because I know there's going to be victory after this. I want to take the time to thank my sister circle for being so understanding that even when I come to Florida and I don't see them, they're still praying for me. They are still rooting for me. They are still wishing me well. They don't leave me hanging. I appreciate that. I appreciate my little sister for opening up her home to me and my kids. I think there was only 2 times that I could not make it, and she still took my kids for the whole week, took them to and from school. She feeds them. She makes sure that they're taken care of. I'm just grateful. I'm grateful for the people who don't kick me while I'm down. I'm grateful for the people who I've had in my life, even newer people that have just come into my life that I feel such a bond with. I appreciate those people. They know who they are. I'm grateful through everything, through these trials, through the downfalls. I'm grateful that I have good people around me. I'm grateful that I have still been able to make it to church with a smile on my face, even when I don't feel like smiling. I'm grateful to God for instilling faith in me. Because like I said, this has been a journey, a very long journey, a very tedious journey. But I'm telling my story because I just want to uplift someone. I want to inspire someone who's going through anything. It doesn't have to be a situation like mine, but who's going through anything. Everybody handles struggles differently. Well, this was an emotional episode. I thank you all for listening. I hope you all enjoyed it. I hope that you decide to stick with me, get comfy and cozy with me every other Thursday. This is going to be fun. It's not always going to be so emotional. There's going to be happy times. We're going to have fun. We are. Feel free to send in your experiences, your thoughts, or just a simple comment. But for now, I want to thank you for living with LoLita. And if you haven't already done so, go to my channel on YouTube, like, comment, and subscribe. Until next time.
Her experience has created a safe place. One time with living with LoLita is all it will take. One time with living with LoLita is all it will take. Living with LoLita, living with LoLita, living with LoLita is all it will take.